So the healthiest option is also the least expensive option at Starbucks. And there's no fat, there's no dairy, there's no other natural flavors. You got to tell them to keep it out of your drink, where we discuss happiness through the lens of diet, exercise, and mindset best practices. In today's episode related to diet, we are going to discuss the healthiest and least expensive drink options at Starbucks. Cafe Americano, 15 calories and no sugar or fat. Keep that one in mind as we're going to come back to it. Again, these are milkshakes. These are not coffee drinks. And I think it's important to recognize that. And if you're in the mood for a milkshake, go have a milkshake. But if you're grabbing Starbucks every morning before your work or your workout, it's part of your daily routine, I think it's very important to be aware of these disparities. That a lot of times the healthiest option in the food industry, in the food and beverage industry, is also the less expensive option. Ordering coffee for the rest of your life, potentially, right? And be aware of these significant disparities in calories, fat, sugar when you walk into a Starbucks. And not by just a few calories. You're looking at 10%, almost 10% of the calories of the next closest drink. Cold brew with nothing in it, you got 5 calories, right? I mean, that is substantial difference, still 230 calories. No calories, or maybe 5 calories, whatever that means. I don't keep calorie counts, you know what I mean? So I don't even want to approach this from a calorie perspective. It's just nothing in it. There's no sugar, there's no dairy, there's no of these kind of natural flavors. It's coffee in a cup. Hello and welcome to another episode of Good Problems to Have with David Nima. I am your host, David Nima. I'm an attorney turned happiness coach and life coach, and I'm also the author of the book, The Anatomy of Contemporary Happiness, where we discuss happiness through the lens of diet, exercise, and mindset best practices. In today's episode related to diet, we are going to discuss the healthiest and least expensive drink options at Starbucks. Okay, so let's get right into it. Now, Starbucks is one of the most popular and famous restaurants worldwide. It has about over 35,000 locations worldwide and is bringing in over $30 billion in revenue before expenses around the world, selling coffee, tea, and a variety of other foods and beverages. Okay, now, Starbucks has a lot of menu options, right? And I think it's a very convenient and relatively inexpensive solution if you're on the road, you need a cup of coffee, or you want to get some kind of beverage, and they're relatively available everywhere. And it's it's kind of a restaurant chain that you can rely on to get food and beverages from. But the menu, especially the coffee drink menu, is just loaded with, in my opinion, very unhealthy options. Okay, so let's explore some of the options at Starbucks and see what is really the least expensive and also happens to be the healthiest option at Starbucks. Preparing for this video, as I just kind of Googled healthiest Starbucks options. So we come across this list from Delish website, and it goes through a list of coffee options, okay? So just quickly, and you can review this in your own time, we're looking at the Cafe Miso. It's looking at 110 calories and 10 grams of sugar, 4 grams of fat. We're looking at this ice brown oat milk shaken espresso, 120 calories, 13 grams of sugars, and 3 grams of fat. Cafe Americano, 15 calories and no sugar or fat. Keep that one in mind as we're going to come back to it. A flat white, 170 calories, 13 grams of fat or sugar, 9 grams of fat and 13 grams of sugar. Honey almond milk cold brew, we're looking at 50 calories, 10 grams of sugar, and still a half a gram of fat. Ice blonde vanilla latte, 190 calories, 28 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of fat. These are supposed to be some of the healthiest options. So you kind of get a little bit of a theme here that everything pretty much has some calories, some fat, and some sugar. The only one that seems to really have the lowest calories by a long shot is the Cafe Americano with 15 calories, no sugar or fat. Everything else has at least almost 10 times the amount of calories as the Cafe Americano. 120, 170 calories. This one has 50 calories, but it's got a bunch of fat and sugar. This one has 190 calories, more than 10 times the Americano, 60 calories, and so on and so forth. So the Cafe Americano has the least amount of calories. You're looking at about 15 calories if you order basically black coffee. Black coffee with nothing in it. No sugar, no syrup, no milk, no oat milk, almond milk, or any other kind of milk substitute. Nothing. Coffee, cup, and steam. Those are the three ingredients in your drink. You're going to walk out of there with the fewest amount of calories literally possible, I guess, at a Starbucks, and not by just a few calories. You're looking at 10%, almost 10% of the calories of the next closest drink. Okay, and that is substantial. Looking at a few of these other 18 healthy Starbucks drinks that taste indulgent, right? So this one has a kind of a little bit of a pictogram showing all these different types of options. Some of them are 0 to 70. Some of them are 70 to 220. As you can see, brewed coffee is in there, but it doesn't give you that much more information about it. So we're going to explore some more. Reviewing this, article a little bit more, you see that, again, they're coming in, they're providing you all these kind of caloric intake that you have, 100 calories, and that's for a tall. For this one here, we got another one, 100 calories. Again, a tall. Nobody orders a tall for these drinks. Iced coffee with syrup, 60 calories and 15 grams of sugar. My suggestion to you is to have this on a hot day without the syrup. Iced coffee is a fantastic, delicious drink, especially from Starbucks that makes relatively quality coffee. I would definitely stay away from the syrup, stay away from the sugar, and now you have a 15-calorie drink with 0 fat, 0 sugar that's going to give you some energy and cool you down on a hot day. And on a cold day, you can get the warm one. Warm coffee, no sugar, no syrup, black coffee, that's it. So again, these kinds of drinks at Starbucks are going to completely provide you with a lot of unhealthy ingredients, bunch of sugar, bunch of dairy, bunch of fat, and very high, I think, unhealthy calories. And literally the only way that you can eliminate this is by ordering black coffee. Black coffee with nothing in it except ice on a hot day. So let's look at a couple of other, places here where they talk about these Starbucks and the various kind of caloric intake. I think this was an interesting chart here, and I think if you just you want to pause on this and take a look at these differences here. The only drink here that has relatively low calories, let's look for it, is I guess it's not here. Let's see, maybe it's on the next one. Let's see, is there another chart? There we go. Add-ons, look at this. I mean, these are just loaded with calories. I mean, these are milkshakes. This is not coffee. Cold brew with nothing in it, you got 5 calories, right? I mean, that is substantial difference to 230 calories. Not to mention all the ramifications in your body from having all that additional sugar or whatever else make up the remainder of the calories. Coffee in a cup is the perfect drink for you to have. It's got no calories, or maybe 5 calories, whatever that means. I don't keep calorie counts. So I don't even want to approach this from a calorie perspective. It's just nothing in it. There's no sugar, there's no dairy, there's no of these kind of natural flavors. It's coffee in a cup. Say 20 calories for the sake of our discussion. That is 1/5 of the ice shaken espresso. It's less than 1/5 of the vanilla sweet cold brew. 20 calories compared to a pumpkin spice latte. You're looking at almost a 19 times caloric intake from a pumpkin spice latte. You and I walk into a Starbucks together. I get a cold brew with nothing in it, right? Just no sugar, no milk, nothing else. You get a pumpkin spice latte. You're walking away with 47 grams of carbs, 16 grams of fat, 370 calories. So this is just, again, these are milkshakes. These are not coffee drinks. And I think it's important to recognize that. And if you're in the mood for a milkshake, go have a milkshake. But if you're grabbing Starbucks every morning before your work or your workout, it's part of your daily routine, I think it's very important to be aware of these disparities in, the health profiles of the various drinks, and make an informed decision about what kind of drink do you want to be ordering at Starbucks for the next 10, 15 years, 80 years of your life, right? You're going to be ordering coffee for the rest of your life, potentially, right? And be aware of these significant disparities in calories, fat, sugar when you walk into a Starbucks. It's a coffee shop. And I think let's call it what it is and treat it as it is. It's a coffee shop. It's a good place to order coffee. And coffee, in my opinion, is healthiest by itself with 0 sugar and 0 dairy added. I went ahead and checked out the menu prices for 2023 in Starbucks. So here is a website that provides fastfoodmenuprices.com. And we've got some what appear to me to be, pretty accurate prices for the various drinks and foods at Starbucks. Okay, so let's look at it from a pricing perspective. What I did is I actually added this information into an Excel sheet. So as we have them all over here. And this includes everything from a chicken deli sandwich all the way to the classic drinks, right? And then they have the tall grande venti option sizes here. So if we go here and we sort by price, let's sort by price. Okay, as you can see, the second least expensive item is the freshly brewed coffee. Okay, and this also happens to have the least calories, no fat, no sugar, right? With nothing in it. So the healthiest option is also the least expensive option at Starbucks. I think tea is also a good option at Starbucks. Sometimes if I'm not in the mood for coffee, I do get either hot tea or cold tea. And maybe if I'm in the mood for something sweet, I'll add some of the raw honey into it. Again, we're not keeping calories here, but that's just tea and honey, whether it's iced tea or hot tea with a little bit of honey. Not this loads of syrups and pumps and flavors and sugars and dairies that are in some of the other drinks. And you're looking at a price of $2.24, according to this chart, for one of the healthiest drinks at Starbucks. So I think the healthiest drink outside of water would be black iced tea or black hot tea. And then you got the freshly brewed coffee, either ice or cold. Yeah, you can go with the nitro coffee and some of these fancy schmancy new types of coffee that are coming out. My point here is to keep out the dairy and the sugar and all the other kind of natural flavors from your order at Starbucks. Either order coffee or order tea and be on and get on with your day. You're not there for a milkshake. And that's what a lot of these drinks are. As you can see, freshly brewed coffee again coming in at $2.69. The beverages at Starbucks, and you're looking at coffee, tea, and water. Those are probably the least expensive items on the menu. Maybe the water might be a little bit more pricey, but according to this chart at least, the coffee and the tea right here, these two items, are the least expensive items at Starbucks, and they're also the healthiest items because they don't have any sugar in it, and the calories are minimal, and there's no fat, there's no dairy, there's no other natural flavors. You got to tell them to keep it out of your drink, okay? And this way, hopefully, you'll be able to drink healthier at Starbucks and similar locations and save a little bit of money. You'll find, as we discuss more topics throughout Good Problems to Have, that a lot of times the healthiest option in the food industry, in the food and beverage industry, is also the less expensive option. If you find this information useful, please like and subscribe. to GPH Lifestyle on YouTube and Instagram. Share this video with your friends and family who are spending too much money on sugary, fattening drinks at Starbucks and similar locations. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.